Hey everyone, it's Dustin Nulf with Keller Williams Realty's the Dustin Nulf team and the Full House LLC Pittsburgh Property Management. How are y'all doing today? Today we're going to talk about the pros and cons of getting your real estate license and being a real estate agent. So if you're considering getting your license or you are a new licensee, these are some of the things you're going to want to think about. We might be talking about things that you didn't already think about, so hopefully we can help you out, help you make a decision here. Before we get started, I do real estate coaching. We do basic real estate sales coaching for $10 a month. Group coaching, links are below. Go to our Patreon site and subscribe there. I do team building coaching for $100 a month, and then one-on-one coaching for $1,000 a month if you're looking to up your game. So check out the links below. I got links for some of the books that have helped my mindset and helped me along the way, helped train me as far as real estate investing goes, that sort of stuff. Business building, and some other useful links that are in the summary below this video. So check them out. Don't forget to like the video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you can be notified of new videos as soon as I post them. I'm posting 2 to 4 videos a week, so there's a lot of new content out there that you can check out. I really appreciate you joining us today. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to look at, the number one reason that I get from a lot of real estate agents who've just gotten their license is that what they're looking for is a flexible schedule. Okay, so we already have up here flexible schedule, and what we're going to look at here is, like, a lot of these pros are going to be cons to some people as well, and vice versa. Well, you can look at a con and some people might say, well, that's an advantage, I like that. So we're going to look at these from both angles if we can. So flexible schedule, there's a lot to be said. There's kind of a lot hidden in that idea of a flexible schedule. Yes, you can create a flexible schedule, but you got to remember that this is a job, right? Well, it's more than a job. It's a business. When you get a real estate license, you are operating as a 1099 contractor for your broker, which means you're running your own business. And unfortunately, most agents, I don't think, understand that. They feel like they're getting a job or something. And I don't want to talk down on them, because when I first got into real estate, I called and I wanted to interview for the job position of real estate agent. And the funny thing is that, you know, the brokers didn't tell me otherwise. That's to their advantage, right? So they have a little bit of control over you if you think that you're working for them. You're not. You're working for yourself. So what you should be doing as a new agent is interviewing brokers, not having them interview you. You should interview them and say, what are you going to offer to help make sure that my business is successful? That's what your question should be for the brokers you're talking to. So back to flexible schedule. What flexible schedule means is that if you're not working, you're not getting paid. I want you to realize that. Okay? If you don't work, you don't get paid. So yes, you can have a flexible schedule, but it doesn't mean that you can just work whenever you feel like it and not work whenever you feel like it, because what that leads to for most people is a lot of laziness and a whole lot of poverty. Okay? So you have to understand that. When a client calls you and they say, I want to see a house today at noon, and it's 9 a.m. and you just rolled out of bed, if you don't get up and show that house, you may not be making money. Now, you may have enough booked that you can say, I'm sorry, but I can't show it at that time. Can you see it tomorrow at 5 p.m. because that's when I'm available? That's a good position to be in. That's how I see a flexible schedule, is that I'm putting appointments where I want to put them, but I am taking appointments, because if you don't take appointments, you don't make money. Okay? So flexible schedule. If you understand that and you always make sure you're staying busy and you're putting the right stuff in your schedule, then you can have a flexible schedule. For instance, if I wanted to take next week off, I could take next week off and I could probably still get a lot done and still get paid. And when I say take the week off, typically I still work 1 to 3 hours a day, even if I'm on vacation. So let's look at a con here. Having a flexible schedule could be a con for you, because if you're not used to making your own schedule and you need some sort of supervision, and you don't like the idea of being on your own to figure out what you need to put in your schedule, then it can be a major detriment to you. Okay? And if you just want to, like if your personal life and your fun and your kayaking and your biking and all those fun things that you want to do, if that's more important to you than making money or selling real estate, you're going to have a hard time paying your bills. Okay, so the flexible schedule can be a major con or a major weakness if you give it too much weight. All right. So we mentioned you're running your own business. So we're going to put here no boss. You don't have a boss. You are the boss. Okay. If you don't have a boss, then who's holding you accountable to meet your goals and to make money and to actually close deals? The only person who's holding you accountable is yourself. And or, you might have a spouse or a significant other or family members who might hold you accountable, which is nice. However, a lot of successful real estate agents find that they need a mentor or they need a coach in order to hold them accountable. So when it comes to, setting goals and sticking to your goals and not waking off and blowing off the day because you didn't feel like it or you didn't feel like you were in the mood to work, if you have an accountability partner, that can help you make sure that you have somebody who's holding you accountable. So basically what an accountability partner is you're going to talk with them usually once a week, or maybe you might be texting or Facebook messaging or whatever in between during the week. But you're going to talk with them once a week for 15 minutes up to an hour if it's a full coaching session. And you're going to set goals with that accountability partner. And that accountability partner, their job is to ask you weekly, did you hit your numbers? You said you wanted to do this. Did you do it? If you didn't do it, why not? What happened? What got in the way? Do you need to adjust your numbers? Do you need to shoot for a higher goal, or do you need to shoot for a lower goal? Or maybe you should get out of this business. Like, that's a realistic conversation that you might have with a coach. This business is not for everyone. 80% or more of real estate agents fail within the first 2 years, which means they give up. To me, failure is you give up. Okay. There's also, road bumps along the way where you might run into some obstacles and you feel like you failed, but you still keep going. Like, that's called learning experiences, right? So if it doesn't motivate you, I always say, like, if it doesn't motivate you to get up in the morning, then you shouldn't be doing it. If real estate sales does not motivate you enough to get up in the morning and be excited about it, and to not hit snooze, then you probably should be doing it. All right. Big pay. That's the other one. I always hear it's like flexible schedule, or I like to make a lot of money, and we can make a lot of money in real estate. And yes, you can. So big pay, the reverse of that, or the other side of that big pay, is $90 days with no pay, right? So you may work for 90 days, you might work for 6 months on something, a deal, and it doesn't pay out. You may even work, I had clients, like when I was a new agent, I had clients that I worked with for years, and they never bought a damn house. And that's, that's a learning experience, right? So I lost a lot of money in my time by learning I shouldn't work with clients like that and knowing how to filter them out. So that was a learning experience for me. However, the whole thing about real estate is that you do not get paid unless you close the deal. Okay? So you don't get paid unless you perform. That's like going into a job. Like, I've met numerous people where, you go into a job and maybe you're supposed to be an administrative assistant, and you spend the first 3 hours screwing around on Facebook and going and getting coffee and chatting to the people around your office, and you have a good old time, and then you finally sit down, and then, oh, it's time for lunch. Let's go have lunch. So, like, the average employee, I think, gets maybe 2 or 3 hours worth of work done in an 8-hour day. That's like, if you're going to go do that, you're going to get paid for 2 or 3 hours. You're not going to get paid for your 8-hour day. All right? So in the real estate world, if you come in, if you show up and you just screw around for 8 hours, you don't get paid. You do not get paid. And if you do what you're supposed to do, you're not going to get paid for 90 days, 180 days, 365 days. It can be a long time. It can take you 9 months to build up a solid pipeline where you start getting consistent pay. 9 months, okay? So if you can't survive, if you got into this business full time and you don't have enough money coming in to survive for 9 months, you're probably not going to make it. You need to find another job, or you need to find another source of income that you can pay your bills with for 9 months. All right? And the key is you need to be doing the right thing for 9 months, or you're still not going to get paid at the end of it. When you do get paid, it can be very big money if you're focusing on doing the right thing and focusing on the right deals. Okay? And just, to give you an idea, that one single home, a $300,000 property, can pay you $9,000. Now, you have to split with your broker. That's just the way it works in every state in the country. So depending on what your split is, but if you're with a nice high split broker, you might walk away with $7,000. Okay, $7,000 for one deal. It's a pretty good situation to be in. And once you get good at it, one deal, I mean, you could do one deal with 5 hours a week or less. It doesn't take a whole lot of time to close a deal. Okay, so if you look at that, you work 5 hours a week, you close one deal a month, $7,000 a month, and is it 80,000? I don't know. It's almost 80,000, maybe more than $80,000. Not bad for 5 hours a week. Okay, so big money. You can make big money. Pay for results. So we already talked about this. You only get paid for your results. So I'm putting this on a pro side. Why would this be a pro? For some people who are hard workers and who are smart workers, they would rather get paid for their results than get paid for their time. Okay? This is the situation that I was in when I got my real estate license. I was working for fast food. I was in the restaurant industry. I was working 70 or 80 hours a week, and I was walking home with maybe $50,000 at the end of the year. That's before taxes. And I felt, when I first started doing it, I felt like I was rich. I was making all this money. Well, it was because I was working so damn much that I didn't have any time to spend my money. Okay, so I was able to save up money because I had no free time at all. I had no life. So when I looked at my my pay per hour, it was miserable. It was like $9 an hour or something stupid. Okay. So if I'm going to work 80 hours a week, I want to get paid for my results. I was making those companies a lot of money by helping run their stores, but I wasn't making myself a whole lot of money. So when I looked at it, I look at real estate like, if I'm going to spend 80 hours a week working on something, I want it to be my own business where I'm going to be able to make a ton of money off of it. So my pay per hour right now is my gross pay per hour is up to $250 an hour. $250 an hour. We all have the same amount of time on our hands. Would you rather make $250 an hour or $15 an hour or $20 an hour, right? So you get paid for your results. Figure out how to deliver results more efficiently and you get paid more. Right? We can put that over here. The people that like to come into work and play on Facebook all day and make $20 an hour because their boss isn't paying any attention, or that's an acceptable practice in that business, this job isn't for you. You're not going to make it. You're not going to like it at all. Not at all. Learning the market. So one of my big advantages of being in real estate is, well, learning in general, but learning the market conditions and being involved in the market. So I got into real estate because I wanted to be an investor and I wanted to get the best deals and know where the best deals were. That was kind of one of my motivating factors, and I also kind of figured, well, I can create my own business here as well. But being in the market as a sales agent then allowed me to learn what was going on in the different neighborhoods and what this property is going to get value-wise and that sort of stuff. So then when you go into an appointment, you might be out there just doing your regular thing, and you might go into an appointment and find a seller who says, I'd sell this right now for, like in Pittsburgh, 20 grand. I'd sell this right now for 20 grand. when a seller says something like that to me, I think about, well, what's it actually worth right now? If I could sell it for 35 grand, then I could buy it for 20 and I just made $15,000. If I can hold on to it and I can rent it out for 900 bucks a month, then I got myself a pretty nice rental deal, right? So because I'm out in the market, I'm learning the situation with the market, and I know when I come across a good deal. So that leads to the next pro, is deals. So if you're an investor or you have aspirations of being an investor, you're going to put yourself in front of a lot of deals out there by actually working and doing what you should be doing. So you can kind of kill two birds with one stone. You're going to be making money off of the sales and the commissions, but then you're going to run into deals that are going to make you even more money, okay, if you know what you're doing and you're involved in the market. The cons to this is like, okay, the reverse side of that is, in order for you to find deals and learn, you have to invest your time in it. So if you really wanted that flexible schedule, and you want a flexible schedule more than you want money, and you want success, and you want great deals, and you want to learn, then that's going to be a con for you. And it's another, I would say, don't even get in the business. If you don't want to invest the time to learn and you don't like to learn, don't get into this business. So deals, low overhead is a fantastic thing about this business. What other business can you get into for under $2,000 a year, right? You want to start a restaurant, $300,000 to $500,000 minimum in Pittsburgh. Like California, it could be millions of dollars you need to invest first before you can get that business running. Okay, and I looked into it because I wanted to run my own business, so I looked into franchises for restaurants, and you needed liquid capital at least $500,000 for a lot of them. And then you're going to go in and invest that, and you might profit out of that restaurant $20,000 a year. Okay, that's nuts. That's nuts. So overhead. We're talking about, $2,000 to $3,000 a year is what it costs to keep your license, to pay your dues, and all that other sort of stuff that you need to do. It might cost you $500 to $1,000 to get your license. You got to pay realtor dues, and most brokerages are going to say you need to pay realtor dues because you're using realtor contracts a lot of times. So it's a copyright infringement law if you're not paying the realtor dues. So you got to pay your dues, you got to pay for office fees and odds and ends and things like that. But that's the overhead. And if you're just doing, word of mouth, you're going after your sphere of influence, you're talking to your friends and family, and you're generating business that way, there's no cost to that. It costs you time, but it doesn't cost you money. So you can get into it extremely low. You sell one deal, you sell one of those $300,000 properties, you already paid for 3 years for you to be in the business. Okay? Super low overhead. Now, I put this on the con side here too, because if you're broke, or if that seems like a lot of money to you, then stay out of the business. No reason to get into business. If you can't afford that, stay out of the business. If you can't afford $150 to $250 a month to pay office fees and things like that, just stay out of the business. All right? And most brokerages are going to have some sort of office fees, and a lot of them will say, well, we pay those for you. And what they do is they pay them for you until you close a deal, and then they take that out of your commission. So you're paying it regardless, okay? So if you don't want to pay those fees, don't get into business. So that's con side of it. Pro side of it, if that seems cheap to you and that's a great deal, I agree. Competition, we're going to look at that. Competition. The competition in the real estate world is super weak, in my opinion. It is sad that a lot of people have their license, unfortunately, because it's such low overhead, and because the bar is so low for you to get a real estate license. Like in Pennsylvania, it's like 2 classes. You take 2 classes, you pass 2 measly tests that are very easy to pass, and then you pass 2 the state and the national test, and you're licensed. It's 60 hours. You can get it done in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, you can have a real estate license. Now you're a professional. You're a real estate professional. 2 weeks of education. Fantastic. And the funny thing is that this business involves more knowledge than I think anything that they teach in colleges a lot of times. I mean, as far as like law goes, like you need to know a lot of real estate law. You need to know how to solve problems. You need to know how these deals go. You need to know a lot. It's amazing to me that you can get a license for that little of time investment and money investment. But what that leads to is everybody and their brother's got a real estate license, right? It's like when I was in high school, I always compare it to that. Everybody played guitar, but it was like there was a few who actually played guitar well and actually could solve problems or improvise or come up with their own creative content that was good sounding. It's the same way with real estate license. Everybody and their brother's got a real estate license, but there's only a few who do it really well and know what they're doing and can problem solve and can get more deals closed than the average bear, right? So there's a lot of competition, so that might be a con to you, but the competition is super weak, all right? And when the market shifts too, that's the other thing. We're going to head into a buyer's market at some point soon. If this, right now there's the government shutdown. It's been shut down for the longest time in history or whatever. We've had stock market fluctuations, chaos, that sort of stuff. Like, there's a lot of signs that are pointing to a shifting market where we're going to shift into a buyer's market. When we shift into a buyer's market, 30 to 50% of real estate agents will quit, which is fantastic to me. I love it. The weakest competition will quit. The people who were getting one deal a year or two deals a year because they had a license and they were running into people that they knew that were willing to list with them, now all of those opportunities, all of those units become available for you to pick up if you're doing what you need to do, if you're doing the right stuff. So competition to me, weak competition, love it. So definitely a pro. Helping people. So we're just going to say people. If you like to help people, this is a good job to be in. The con of that is if you are not good with people and you let people walk all over you, this is a bad job to be in. Okay? So the whole thing, the way I look at this is, you are the real estate professional. Okay, that's what you're saying you are. And you're supposed to advocate and give good advice to your client. And what that means to me is sometimes, a lot of times, you have to tell your client what they don't want to hear. Okay? And if you come from the customer service mindset of, the customer's always right, you're going to have a hard time in this business. Because a lot of times you got to tell the customer what they don't want to hear. You know what? I know you don't want to pay full price for this house, but there's 5 other offers coming in, and I think you should offer $20,000 over ask price with an escalation clause. And yeah, it might not feel good, but if you want this property, that's what you got to do. Right? When it comes to sellers, I know you have $350,000 into this house, but it's only worth $250,000 right now. So you can either sell it and move on, or you can stay in this house until the market changes and gets better. It could be 12 years. What do you want to do? So that's the difference. There's the difference between customer service and being an advocate and giving the advice that you need to give, right? So if you like to help people, then this is great. If you let people walk all over you, this isn't a great position for you to be in. I personally enjoy problem solving. So when I have the client that's got the problems and they're coming from every angle, I like to be able to help them solve those problems and move on. And it's nice when you have somebody who I work with a lot of expired listings. They may have had their house in the market last year with another agent or sometimes multiple years and weren't able to sell it. And then we get in there and we get it sold, and they're excited to move on and they're happy that we got the job done and they can move on with their life and do whatever they need to do next. So I really enjoy that. Variety. I always say that you have to have ADHD to work in this business. And I think if you like tested most of the successful real estate agents, you would find that we all have some sort of ADHD or ADD issues. Um, there is so much going on in this business, it is insane. All right, I mean, every day it's something new. Every deal has some sort of crazy new roadblock that you've never seen before. I've been doing this for 11 years, and I swear almost every deal I run into something new. So if you love variety and you want to do something new every day, this is a great business to be in. And like there is a downfall to that. Like when you chase shiny objects, like you're going to get snagged by the fishermen every once in a while, right? So don't you gotta tone down that urge to chase the squirrels or the shiny objects. So if you like variety, great business to be in. If you want consistency and you want everything to be perfect and organized, this business will drive you insane. It will drive you insane. Most real estate agents, especially the good ones, are highly disorganized and very chaotic because this is a very highly disorganized and chaotic business. It's just the nature of the beast. So if you get into this and you're a super organized person, those real estate agents are going to drive you nuts. So you're going to be dealing with stress every single day. Now, I do know a couple really great agents who are highly organized. They come from organized backgrounds. They keep things systematic, and they're able to do it very successfully. And their clientele, they cater to that highly organized, the artistic clientele, the accountants, the architects, the engineers, the people who are very systematic, and that's fantastic because we need those people. We need successful organizers in this business. I will tell you though that from my experience, the rate of success for the super organized perfectionist is extremely low in this business. It can be extremely stressful for them. Opportunity. So opportunity is one of the things that I love about real estate in general, whether it comes to, you got sales opportunities, there's wholesaling opportunities, there's buy and hold opportunities, you run into flip opportunities, you meet new people who are running other businesses. If you're out there constantly doing what you need to do, you're going to be constantly meeting new people, and you're going to be constantly running into new opportunities. Some of the stuff that I got going on, I run a real estate sales business, so I coach agents, local agents. They join up with the team. They give me a portion of their commissions for coaching, support, administrative, marketing, and things like that. I started a property management company because I was investing in real estate. So there's 3 different avenues: sales, investing, and property management. I've been able to invest in cryptocurrency and stuff like that on the side, stocks and bonds, things like that, because of the money I'm making off of real estate. So that sort of stuff. I own part of a title company. Like that's just like you come across it. The more you're doing, the more successful you are, the more opportunity comes in front of you. So get out there and do what you need to do, and just focus on one thing. Just focus on real estate sales and get good at it. And if you get good at that, more opportunity is going to just fall in front of you. And you need to be open-minded enough to see that it's there. And I don't see how that can be a con, but there's a lot of real estate agents that I do run into with extremely closed minds where I'll talk to them about an opportunity that I have available. Hey, would you like to hear about this business opportunity I have available? It's something that would be great for a real estate agent such as yourself. I'm sorry, I'm happy with the company I'm at right now. I can't meet with you. That's nuts. To me, that's nuts. What does your company have to do with anything about the opportunity that I'm about to discuss? Has nothing to do with it. Don't be narrow-minded if you're going to come into this business, because you'll find other opportunities to make money and meet new people and do new things. Real estate. So here's the other one: is more people have become millionaires due to real estate or because of real estate investing and or sales than any other industry in the United States. Okay? So if you want to be a millionaire, if that's one of your goals, then wouldn't it make sense to get into the one business where more millionaires are made than anything else, right? That's what, like, when I was researching starting business opportunities and being an entrepreneur, that's the thing that really caught me, was like, well, duh, if I can make such a huge profit margin on sales, and real estate is that industry that makes more millionaires, and I want to be a millionaire, why not start in that industry? Because obviously that should be like the easiest industry to become a millionaire in then, right? Right. Okay. So some of the things that can be an advantage, or some more things that can be an advantage or disadvantage. Self-motivation. If you're a self-motivated person, then you're gonna be able to come into this business and be successful at it. If you're not self-motivated and you still want to get into this business, come into the business and hire a coach, hire an accountability partner. And that can be expensive, but what you're doing is you are investing in yourself first. You are not, it's not like, it should be an investment. When you look at that, you're running your own business. Anything that you spend money on for that business should be an investment where you get a return out of it, okay? If you're not getting a return out of the coaching and accountability, then you break it off, right? And the thing about coaching and accountability is you have to actually do what your coach is telling you should be doing. If you don't, and you're going to constantly say, no, that's not, I can't do that, that's not right for me, then this business is not right for you. It's probably not going to work out. Hard work. If you're a hard worker, then this might be a good business for you. If you're not afraid of hard work, if you're not afraid to work 80 hours a week, 100 hours a week, 12-hour days, 7 days a week for 3.5 years. Pretty much what I did. 10 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, 3.5 years before I took a vacation. And I tell you what, when I did take that vacation, I mean, the following year, I think I was on vacation for 2 months out of it, and I still closed 50 deals. If you need, well, if you lack discipline, join the club. Most of the real estate agents that I know lack discipline. So it's more of a consistency in action than having, military style discipline. But discipline with money is the thing that I would highly advise that you really focus on, as there are a lot of real estate agents, and even myself, like, I will admit that I have screwed up financially many times. The higher performers tend to be more apt to risk. So a lot of times we get ourselves in crazy situations with money that we probably shouldn't be. So get that from the get-go. Stash the money, prepare for your taxes, learn how to do a profit and loss statement. Like, all this stuff is boring to the top salesperson, but if you're gonna be able to sit down and have the discipline to focus on your numbers, learn the profit and loss statement, live by it, live by your budget, set a home budget, live below your means, live below your means, live below your means. I said that 3 times for a reason. Then you will be more likely to succeed and last in this business. I've seen so many agents come in and they just hit it and they're crushing it and they're doing great, and the next year they're gone. And it's because they just blew through the money. They spent it all like it was like all of it was theirs. The government owns 30 to 50% of that money, basically. So just stash it away. You need to stash it away. You need to live below your means and stash even more money away for yourself to reinvest, so you can create other income streams. So when the market crashes, you have other avenues of income, not just the sales, because your sales are going to drop. When the market rate or the price of homes drops, your average commission is going to drop. Make sense? And if you're not good at doing what you need to do, your sales are going to drop too, because you weren't ready for the shift. Okay? I hope that was helpful. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and check out the links below. Would love to see you in my coaching programs. $10 a month for real estate sales in general. Self-guided coaching for the most part. We do 3 videos and 1 group session, open live Q&A a month. $100 a month for team building if you want to build a team. I've done 100 deals a year for the last several years in a row, and most of the work was done by my team. I would love to help you build a team. And then one-on-one coaching if you want an accountability partner and you want one-on-one, 1 hour a week phone calls and somebody that you can text and message and all that sort of stuff during the week to stay motivated, keep you on track. Sign up. See you there. Thanks for watching. See you again.